All right. I want to welcome everybody today, and I'm really excited. I have a special guest with me, one of my dear, dear friends that's like a sister to me. We've known each other seems like our whole lives, and went to high school and went to cheerleaded together, and we go way back. And so she was one of my first ambassadors too, truthfully, and she was one that I sent my website to, but she did all the research for me and her. And she said thumbs up, so I'm like, perfect. So anyway, I'm not going to waste any time because I want to introduce Marlaina Mettendorf. She's from Chattanooga area of Tennessee. She's the one I like to go back and visit in Tennessee. And so I'm going to turn it over to you, Marlaina.
Okay. Thanks, Cindy. Well, hello. I wanted to first say that I was really excited that Cindy came here back in June, a couple months ago, and came just to kind of inspire us with the new Slim. And I have a few that have been on it for a while and just kind of re-sparked some of that. And what it did was it re-sparked it for me huge because just the new drink, the new formulated Slim is so amazing. But with that, I had quite a few people just asking me what each of the ingredients do, and kind of like, why is this drink so special? How is it doing all of these things when you share your testimonials with them? And so I am, like Cindy said, I like to research. I'm an analytical person. I analyze a lot of things, and so I started to think I want to analyze the Slim. I want to break it down and look at each ingredient and really learn what each ingredient is doing. And so in that, I first of all learned how complex Slim is. It is just so complex that it will amaze you when you start to really learn each ingredient. So what I did was I wanted to put together a list explaining each ingredient. And as I was learning this, I had just a huge appreciation for the scientists who developed it. And I realized how intentional each ingredient was in developing Slim. And I just really want you to think of that word intentional, and how in each ingredient is intentional, and how each ingredient has a purpose, and not just a solo purpose. It's a combined purpose, because the scientists have developed a proprietary blend and a patented blend of very beneficial ingredients that work together synergistically. And so they didn't just throw a bunch of ingredients in there and hope for the best, like, oh, this tastes good and it has some chromium in it and has this and that. It has a purpose, it has an intention, and a certain down to the science quantity of each ingredient, so that they will successfully work together and provide amazing benefits. So with that said, I want to say that, first of all, I want to give credit to a few people for my learning, and in my research, I listened to a lot of videos and looked up a lot of things on Tickled Pink, and so all of this is from learning what I'm going to share, and I've learned a lot of these things from Sonia Gilson, Jennifer Pickett, and Cameron McMillan, and of course Cindy. So I've been learning from Cindy for like 3 years, but lately I've really it's like she's always told me, it's like going back to school in science and taking notes and learning. So I'm just going to share what I've learned, and with that we'll start with page 1.
Okay, so here's the share screen. Share screen. Okay, there you go.
Okay. All right, so I've already said how it is a patented blend, and the ingredients, they synergistically work together, and how every ingredient has a symbolic relationship to absorb rather than just excreting it out. So that is really important, that it's actually absorbing. It's not being wasted and being excreted out. It's clinically demonstrated to help lose weight. So that's another big thing that it does, and it promotes the growth of good gut microbes. It increases lactobacillus by 365 times and bifidobacterium by 290 times. And we're going to talk more about those two things later. This is just kind of an overall first. It increases the metabolism, enhancing akkermansia. And again, that's another word we're going to talk about more later. It supports healthy glucose metabolism. There's no artificial sweeteners, flavors, or colors, gluten-free, and it's a clinically studied XOS prebiotic. And we're going to talk about that XOS prebiotic later as well. So the first ingredient, as you can see on the screen, is chromium. And chromium, I wanted to just say a little bit about, because that's one ingredient that a lot of people think they can just go out and buy and it's going to help them with everything that Plexus Slim helps you with. And that is not true, because it is not going to, it's not going to work synergistically with these other ingredients that I'm going to share after I talk about chromium. So chromium, I learned that it's equal to 9 cups of broccoli. And I was like, oh, wow. I mean, who wants to eat that much broccoli? So there is lots of benefits in broccoli, and you can Google that and see. So now when I drink my Slim, I'm like, wow, I'm drinking 9 cups of broccoli too. So that was kind of cool to find out. It enhances insulin function. It balances your blood sugar, of course. It has a trickle-down effect on hormones and thyroid. Your adrenals become more balanced because of your insulin function. And some people have, and I had this before Plexus, where you have that daytime fatigue and you have to have a nap, but then you're wired at night, and then you have insomnia at night and you can't sleep. So it helps with that, because it's helping your adrenals and your cortisol. Decreased sugar cravings and no afternoon slump.
Yay.
Yay for chromium.
Yeah.
All right. Then niacin, the other ingredient in Slim, is actually paired with the chromium that is in Slim, and which makes it absorb better. So there again, there was something intentional the scientists had done so that it would absorb better. Niacin moves glucose from the bloodstream to the cells, which gives you increased and sustained energy. And next is alpha-lipoic acid. It's an antioxidant. It removes toxins from the liver. It increases insulin function. Again, that was another thing that chromium did, so there's another agent in there that is doing the same. It converts glucose into energy. Niacin had that as well, only actually this one converts it, niacin moves it, so that was interesting to me. Decreases inflammation, regulates cholesterol, aids in weight loss, and when our blood sugars are balanced, you don't have those sugar dives, and you don't crave those sugar caffeines or snacks, which we all know that afternoon needing that pick-me-up is not as often now with Slim. So next is Garcinia cambogia, and this one is from a plant from India, and it's they have pulled it right from the rind, and it's the purest form. also known as hydraulic citric acid. I don't think I said that right, but it's on there. So it increases the body's ability to use sugar for energy. It increases insulin function, which is the insulin function is responsible for so many things. So that is, again, another ingredient we're seeing that helps with insulin. Increases fat burning, decreases the amount of fat that is deposited into your abdomen, controls your appetite, improves your cholesterol, prevents fat storage, increases exercise endurance, increases serotonin levels in the brain, and helps with emotional binge eating. So it's just like, wow, it's doing all these things, and we're not even halfway through the ingredients. So, all right. Chlorogenic acid, it's derived from the green coffee bean extract containing 50% chlorogenic acid and 2% natural caffeine. So this was good to learn because I didn't realize that it was that low in caffeine when you pull it from the green bean. So that was interesting. It's really only equivalent to a cup of decaf coffee or a square of chocolate. That was also interesting to me. You're not going to get that caffeine buzz or crash because you're not going from a high to a low like a Monster drink or something. Helps with blood pressure. It slows down the release of glucose into the bloodstream, which balances blood sugars. Has an antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effect, which also, if you remember, the alpha lipoic acid also had those things. Helps with weight loss by increasing metabolism of fat in the liver. Decreases the absorption of fat. So lots of things there. And then taste and coloring. Plexus Slim, of course, is flavored with stevia, nothing artificial, nothing synthetic. It's also flavored with mulberry fruit extract. And that one really, I learned there are components in the mulberry that work in a similar way than some type 2 diabetes medicines, and which help the fat and carbohydrate metabolism. And I thought, wow, even the flavoring has a purpose and an intent. I thought, that's pretty cool, you know. So I didn't know that before. Plexus Slim is colored with beetroot extract and other fruit and vegetable juice, which gives us that yummy, refreshing watermelon raspberry lemonade taste. So that was that one. All right. Now, the big one. This one gets even more interesting. So we just went over all of the ingredients in the original Slim, and then now we have this huge other added thing to our new formula. And you know, the original Slim was already amazing, but how all of those things work together. But adding this new thing is just like, you know, wow. It just really, when I learned about what each of these things were doing, I thought, this is amazing. You would have to go buy probably, I think I counted up about eight products just to get what you're getting in this. So, and probably more. Anyway, all right, this ingredient, XOS, I'm going to say XOS, unless Cindy, you want to try to say that word.
It's okay.
I can sometimes say it, but I'm not going to mess it up right now. So the prebiotic XOS, it has a microbiome activating formula. And prebiotics are undigestible fibers that help feed bacteria. But this prebiotic is the only prebiotic that feeds good bacteria. So XOS feeds our good bacteria. And I was thinking, who would want a prebiotic that fed both good and bad when, we've got one that only feeds the good. So, so in return, your good bacteria will boost your immune system, help with weight loss, and lots and lots of other things. So XOS is a fertilizer or miracle grow for your good bacteria, which is like feeding your garden good things. And you're overpopulating that good bacteria, which is just key to our health. And you're increasing your lactobacillus by 300 pages. You're increasing bifidobacterium by 290 times. And you're increasing Akkermansia by 250 times. Now, those words don't, at first I read those big words in our flyers and I thought, what is that? We're going to talk about them on the next few pages. The first one being lactobacillus, and it is a gut microbe that, as we said, increases by 365 times when we're drinking our Slim that has the XOS in it. It helps with GI health, helps with lactose intolerance issues, helps with cholesterol levels, inhibits development of candida, which is a yeast that causes infection in our bodies, and helps with skin issues. Wow. And it's a strain of a probiotic. That is what lactobacillus is. And it's in our ProBio 5, so another little side note there. The next one, bifidobacterium, also another good probiotic. It helps to not allow harmful pathogens to colonize in the gut. It helps combat candida. And you could Google candida if you don't know what that is, because amazing benefits when we get that under control. Helps with colon issues, supports your immune system, and promotes digestion and nutrient absorption. Wow. So now Akkermansia, I had no idea what this was before. I kind of knew the other two a little bit, but this is not a probiotic that you can go to the store and buy. This is something that you have to naturally grow in your gut. And our Slim that has the XOS in it is feeding that by 250 times. Wow. So that's really amazing, because if you're deficient in it, you can gain weight, you'll have a low metabolism. So if you're boosting that, your metabolism is going to be working a lot more efficiently and burning more calories faster. Wow. So some of the benefits to increasing your Akkermansia is an inverse effect on diabetes, which that one was like, wow, our drink was developed for diabetics with the blood sugar issues, and now with the gut, it's targeting that as well with increasing our Akkermansia. It has an inverse effect on obesity, an inverse effect on inflammation, and an inverse effect on metabolic disorders. Mm-hmm. So that is everything. And I would just encourage all of you to listen to the videos and Google information, because it's really fascinating. So
yes. Thank you, Marlaina.
You're welcome.
Amazing to think all that is in that pink drink. And some people are like, I love the original and I want the original. And it's hard because we get used to it and we like that. But if you really can study this new Slim and understand what it is, and even if you feel different on the new one from the old one, Marlaina, why don't you share a little bit about that, even in your testimony?
Okay. Well, I could just tell that even sometimes you have that kind of sluggish feeling, even on the original, and I would think, what's going on? But I really learned actually with my mom that the gut health part of it is really a huge important component, because she was only on the slim for first for a couple of years, and then when she added ProBio 5 and BioCleanse, she saw a major difference. So now to have that, and that gut health part of it in our slim, and still be on the ProBio and the BioCleanse, is just showing amazing results. So I feel a lot more energized, and it's just knowing that you're putting good things in your body, and they all have a purpose, and they're all working together, and that you can't go out and buy all of these things. You would spend well over what we pay, and they would not work the way this works, because it was scientifically developed with that patented blend. So
what do you say to people that are saying that they don't feel as good on the new slim?
I would say that if you're just starting it, that you need to wait a while, because you are probably going through some detoxing. I went through everyone has different, some people don't have any detoxing symptoms, and others have maybe slight things, and others might have a little more bothersome things. I would say I was the one that had slight things, but I will be honest with Cindy. I was like, oh, I'm feeling kind of like something's wrong here, I feel like I'm gaining weight, and I feel like I'm tired, and I'm not sleeping, and all these things came back to me that were from before Plexus. Mm-hmm. And I thought, what is going on, but she told me and encouraged me, this is detox. We're introducing lots more things to our body. And so it's interesting, because the people who started on the new slim don't seem to be having as much as people who were on the original and starting on it. Right. So I listened to her, and that was about 2 weeks ago, I think, that I was complaining about some things. And the last week or two, I've been sleeping like a baby again, and I've got my energy back, and the scale went back down. So I was just going through a weird thing, and but to me, it was kind of nice to remember for a little time how bad I felt, and know that that's not a way of living forever. So yes. Yeah.
Yay, well, thank you so much for spending this time today with us, and I'm really excited to have this in our files for people to really learn what is in the pink drink. And I thank you for putting together that PowerPoint, you and your husband, and doing all the research. It was awesome, and just very excited to have you on board, and all the lives you're changing over there in Tennessee. It's amazing.
Yes, it's exciting.
Yes. So. All right, well, have a wonderful day. See you later.
See you later. Bye.